Welcome to the live interactive session for solving problems on the topic precipitation data quality check. This is the second session for the course Surface Water Hydrology being taken by Professor Dr. Rajiv Maiti from Department of Civil Engineering IIT Kharagpur. I am the TA Aman Srivastava and I will be here to solve some of the essential problems on the topic precipitation data quality check such that the enrolled candidates can be able to solve the problems given in the assignments. So let's get started. Today we will be focusing on two aspects for the precipitation data, that is the estimation of missing data, and secondly the test for consistency of data. So let's start with the missing data estimation. This is the first problem in front of you. Let me read the problem. The normal annual rainfall at station P, Q, R and S in a basin are these much centimeter respectively. In 2022, station S was inoperative and stations P, Q and R recorded annual precipitation of this much centimeter respectively. Estimate the rainfall at station S in that year. So the question was very straightforward. The question is asking to find out the rainfall at the station S for the year 2022, given that the normal annual rainfall is given for all the stations and the annual precipitation is given for 3 stations, and we are required to find out the annual precipitation at the 4th station, which is the station S. There is another part in this question. Will there be any change in the procedure of estimating the rainfall at station S if the rainfall at station P is 54.25 centimeter instead of 68.82 centimeter and keeping all other magnitudes the same? Okay, so this is just nothing but the change in the magnitude of rainfall at station P. Initially it is 68.82 centimeters. So now this question has been little molded and has been asked, what if the precipitation at station P is 54.25 centimeter, then which approach will be taken to estimate, whether the approach will be same as this part or whether some different aspect or approach will be taken in the second part. So let's demystify how to find out this missing data estimation problems. So the step 1, that means we are considering case 1 where the normal annual precipitation at station P is 68.82 centimeter. Okay. And we are supposed to find out in the step 1 if the maximum percentage difference concerning normal rainfall at station S is greater than 10% or not. So this is the first criteria to check which method is required to be identified. So the maximum difference in normal rainfall values from the normal value at station S is obtained as 68.82 minus 49.58. So how we have taken this? This is the maximum rainfall which has occurred among all the 4 stations, and this is the minimum rainfall which has occurred among all the 4 stations. So the difference between both of them gives 19.24 centimeter. So the difference of the percentage difference will be, this is how we have estimated, that is the difference between the maximum and minimum divided by the maximum rainfall magnitude into 100, which gives us 27.96%, and this is greater than 10%. So what does we have identified? As the normal rainfall values of the surrounding stations vary considerably more than 10%, the normal ratio method is adopted. So this is the first consideration that we have to check in the step 1 based on the data which is given to us. So for this problem, the first part of this problem, that is the case 1, we need to focus on normal ratio method in order to estimate the precipitation magnitude for the station S. So let's see what are the remaining steps. In the step 2, we need to find out the rainfall at station S in 2023. This should be 2022 using the normal ratio method. So here the number of neighboring station is 3. As we all know, it is P, Q and R, and station S is itself the 4th station. And these are the information which was already provided in the question. I have tabulated here in this table, and we can see that the unknown is the annual rainfall at station S, while other values are known to us. So this is the normal annual rainfall denoted as N, and this is annual rainfall denoted as P. All magnitudes are in centimeter. Moving ahead, So let's find out the rainfall at station S using the normal ratio method. So what does this normal ratio method mean? Since the normal annual precipitations vary considerably, PS, that is the station at that is the rainfall at station S, is estimated by weighing the precipitation at various stations by the ratio of normal annual precipitation. So okay, we can see here that PP by NP, PQ by NQ, and PR by NR is nothing but it is the precipitation at various stations by the ratio of normal annual precipitation, and this is how it is quantified here. Okay, so this is the PS that we can identify using this formula. This is the formula for the normal ratio method. So substituting all the values which were provided in the problem, we can estimate the value of precipitation at station S, which comes out as 54.67 centimeter. So this is the final value of the rainfall at station S. So this was the first part of the problem. Let's focus on the second part, which was the case 2 when the normal annual precipitation at station P is 54.25 centimeter. So again, we will reiterate what we have done in the previous part. That means we will find out whether the maximum percentage difference concerning normal at station S is greater than 10% or not. So the same approach will be taken. The maximum value and the minimum value will be subtracted. Here we get it as 4.67 centimeter. And if we find out the percentage, it comes out as 8.6%, which is less than 10%. Here comes the difference. In the previous case, the difference was greater than 10%. Now in this case, the difference is less than 10%. So our approach will change as the normal rainfall values of the surrounding stations vary considerably less than 10%. Hence, we will be using simple arithmetic average procedure instead of normal ratio method. So let's see how this method works. We need to find out the rainfall at station S using this method. And here is the description for this method. Since the normal annual precipitations at various stations are within about 10% of the normal annual precipitation at station S, then a simple arithmetic average procedure is followed to estimate the PS, which is this. So simply we are averaging all the values of the annual precipitation in the other three stations and dividing it by the number of stations. So substituting all these values, here we have taken M is equal to 3, which is 3 stations, and these are the values of the rainfall at station P, Q and R. Solving this, we get the value as 61.18 centimeter. So I hope all the enrolled candidates who have been listening to this video must be able to follow and see how the methods changes based on the data given in the problem. So this was the problem on the missing data estimation. Now let's move ahead and solve the second part of today's problem solving session, that is testing the consistency of the precipitation data. Here is the second problem. Let me read the problem for you. The annual rainfall data for station X and the average annual rainfall values for a group of 10 neighboring stations located in the meteorologically homogeneous region are given on the next slide. Test the consistency of the annual rainfall data of the station X and correct the record if there is any discrepancy. Estimate the mean annual precipitation at station X. So I hope you were able to follow the question. Here we are given the annual rainfall data for the station X and we are also given the average annual rainfall values of 10 stations which were located nearby to station X. We need to find out whether the data for the annual rainfall data for station X and the average annual rainfall data for the 10 neighboring stations are homogeneous or not. So we need to find out whether they are consistent or not. So let's see. And there is another part which is given this problem. We need to estimate the mean annual precipitation at station X also. Okay. So let's test whether the data for these two conditions are consistent or not. So this is the data which is provided in the question. Here you can see that from 1991 to 2020, until 2020 the data has been provided to us, and these are the average rainfall value at station X and these are the average annual rainfall of the group, that is 10 neighboring stations, and that is the average here given to us. I hope you were able to understand this table. Okay, now let's see how to solve and how to find out the consistency of the conditions given in the problem. Here is the step 1. The data is sorted in descending order of the year. starting from the latest year, that is 1991. The cumulative values of station X rainfall, that is summation Px, and the 10 station average rainfall, that is summation Pm, are calculated on the next slide. Okay, so first step is to find out the cumulative values for both station X and the 10 station average. So let's see how to find out. So here is a table. Here I can show you that how for the year 2020 to 2006 we have estimated the annual rainfall of station X and average annual rainfall of the group of 10 neighboring station. So this is the value which is given to you, and we need to find out the summation Px, which is the cumulative value. So here the first value is 826 and the second value 1401 has been obtained by adding 575 to 826. Likewise, if you add 826, 575 and 1114, then you will get 2515. All these values are in millimeter. And likewise, you can keep on finding out all the cumulative values. Similarly, the same has been done for finding the average annual rainfall of the group of 10 neighboring stations. So here also we have taken the first value for 2020 as 794, and for 2019 we have added 794 with 554 to obtain 1347. Likewise, 1347 was added with 1062 to get 2410, and likewise we have added, and these are the two focus, these are the two new informations that we have obtained from the given data, that is the cumulative values. Likewise, the same operation has been done for the remaining years, that is from 2005 to 1991. Let's see, after finding this summation Px and summation Pm, let's see what we have to do. The data is then plotted with summation Pm on the y-axis and summation Px on the x-axis to obtain a double mass curve plot. Let's note the year's value corresponding to the plotted points and draw some key inferences. Okay, so after obtaining the summation Px and summation Pm value, now our focus is to plot them such that we can get some more insights. Okay, so on the next slide here, we have plotted them as described in the previous slide. This is the cumulative annual rainfall at the station X, and this is the average cumulative annual rainfall of 10 stations. All are in mm. So after plotting, we found, we can visually even see that at this point, this was the point beyond which the data become inconsistent, given the fact that there was a sudden change in the trend of the data. Okay, so here it is not having the same slope as this part. So what we can infer here is the change point is observed at the 12th data point, and this 12th data point falls in the year 2009. Okay, so this has been data has been plotted in the manner that 2020 is at this point and 1991 is at this point. So if you count, then you will see that 2019, 2020 to 2019, 18, 17, 16, 15 and so on, and you will reach 2009 at this point. So the year at which we found the change was the year 2009. So hence you can see that we have obtained a very required inference as which year the change was recorded when the cumulative values of the rainfall at X and the cumulative values of the annual rainfall of 10 stations is plotted. So now after getting this value, let's see what we have to do. Step 3, it is seen from the data plots that there is a break in grades in the year 2009. Okay, so we have seen in the previous slide how in the year 2009 we found that there was a break. This represents a change in the regime of station X after the year 2009. We need to determine the slope of the best straight line for the period 2020 to 2009, which will be MC, and the slope of the best straight line for the period 2008 to 1991, which will be MA. So I hope you were able to follow what this MC and MA here indicates. Here MC is the best straight line for the period 2020 to 2009. This is actually nothing but the slope. And what is MA? MA is the slope of the best straight line for the period 2008 to 1991. So let's see how to find out these slopes. Okay, so here in this plot you see that we have plotted 2009 to 2020 data only. Okay, so this is the first observation, and on the basis of which we have obtained this straight line, and the slope of this straight line is nothing but y is equal to mx plus c. Here m is nothing but the m C, which we were interested to find out. And the value comes out as 0.98. So from this plot, we obtained the first part of this problem, which was what was the slope of the straight line for the first case, which is MC is equal to 0.98. Likewise, moving ahead, we can develop the same plots for the year 1991 to 2008. And here we can see that the y equal to mx plus c equation is providing the MA value as 0.6686. Here is that value. So with these two plots, we obtained MC and MA value. So let's see what we have to do after obtaining these two values. In the step 4, the correction ratio to bring the old records, that is 1991 to 2008, to the current record, that is post 2008, is calculated as, so here we have to find out the ratio between these two slopes, that is MC divided by MA. So 0.98 divided by 0.6686, and which we obtained it as 0.6822. Okay, so we have now the correction ratio, which is nothing but MC upon MA. So each of the pre-2009 annual rainfall values is multiplied by this correction ratio of 0.6822 to get the adjusted values and thereby finalized values as shown on the next slides. So I hope you are able to follow that now we have to multiply this ratio with all the years preceding the 2009 such that we can get the new values or adjusted values. So let's see how this has been done. Okay, so here is the final summary of the actions that we have taken or the steps that we have taken to solve this problem. So the addition is this, the adjusted values of Px. Okay, so we have been told that after solving this problem beyond 2009, we have to bring the adjustment. So beyond 2009 is here, 2008 to 1991. So this is 2008, and we can see here that we have multiplied the MC upon MA, the correction ratio, with this value, which is 878. Okay, 820, which is basically the value 111449. Okay, I hope you are able to follow. For example, here we see that these are the actual value 826, 575, 1114, 925, and so on. These are the actual values, these which are plotted here. Okay, so these are the as it is values. No change has been done between these two values. That is the finalized value of Px. Okay, but the change has occurred after 2009. So after 2009, the first year is 2008, which is 111449 mm. So this is multiplied with the correction ratio, which we obtained in the previous slide, and we obtained this as 988.27. And likewise, we have performed for each of the rows. Right? Likewise, the same calculation has been performed for 2005 to 1991, and these are the new adjusted values that we have obtained. Okay, and these are the finalized value. So what is finalized values? We are just rounding off to the nearest integer. Okay, so 1085.9 has been converted or rounded off to 1086. Likewise for other values. So these are the finalized values of Px that we have obtained. So I hope all the listeners would have been able to follow how such problems are solved. These are quite tedious problems to solve, and in order to solve this problem comfortably, we can use Excel. For example, this problem has been solved on Excel, and since this material will be uploaded for your future reference, so you can able to utilize this problem to have self-analysis, and you can solve it by yourself in Excel as well. So today, and there was another part of this problem that was to find out what is the mean annual precipitation at station X. So this is very simple to obtain. You have to find out this you have to first of all find out the total value of the finalized values of Px. Okay, so this whatever that volume which is came, that is it is the sum of this part, this row. Whatever is the sum of the finalized values of Px here, that you have to substitute here and divide it by 30 years. By 30 years because the data period was from 1991 to 2020, and you will get the final value, that is the mean annual precipitation at station X, as 835.3 mm. So this is how we have solved this both parts of the problem. So today in this problem solving session, we focused on checking the data quality, where our first part was to find out the missing data or solve the problem of the missing data, and second was to solve the problem of the consistency of the data. I hope you were able to follow this lecture, and this was the first part of the week second problem solving session. The next lecture is going to focus on the remaining problems for this week. I'm really grateful to you for your time. Let's stay connected. Thank you.